with prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheswara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Of the native Madhav Sarma, whose details has already been given by Murthy ji. Now we are to discuss that when possibly the marriage of this person can happen. So to check out what is the possible year, date and month of the marriage of this native, as usual, the first thing we are to check is the ascendant subsublord, which is Jupiter. Then we have to check the seventh subsublord, which is Saturn. And finally, we will check 11th subsublord, which is Mercury. Now, it is not necessary that we have to check Mercury. We have to focus our attention basically on the ascendant subsublord and the seventh subsublord. Now, if you look at the seventh subsublord, which is Jupiter, then in the cuspal interlink stable, Jupiter is in the star of Rahu, and Rahu is giving me 5, 7, 11, along with 1, 9, plus all negative houses 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. What does this mean? In last lecture also we have discussed that
Delay.
whenever there
Delay
is
in marriage.
Delay in marriage, sir.
yeah, there has to be delay in marriage. Now the question is delay in marriage or it is going to be a late marriage, right? So as per what is conveyed by the star lord of the ascendant sub-sublord, it appears that it is a delayed marriage, maybe it's a case of late marriage. Then, why do I say it is a case of late marriage? The reason is that the seventh sub-sublord is Saturn. Whenever any slow moving planet, particularly Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn, they are the subsublords of the seventh cusp, then usually the marriage of such a person happens at a very late stage, maybe around 30 plus, and it can be even up, say, even 35 plus. So, Saturn here is the subsublord of the seventh cusp, and if you look here, both Jupiter and Saturn are placed in the star of Rahu, which means all the 12 cusp except the third one, that is involved in Jupiter. And when you look at Saturn, then here third cusp is also involved. So in Jupiter, third is absent. In Rahu, in Saturn, third is present. So both these indicate that the marriage of this native is a case of delayed marriage. And since we are having Saturn as the sub-sublord of the seventh cusp, I can say without any doubts that it is going to be a case of late marriage. Now, another indication which I get for the late marriage of this person is if I look into the Punarfu Yoga for this person, then Moon and Saturn are no way related to each other in the natal chart. Neither Moon is aspecting Saturn nor Saturn is aspecting Moon. But if you look at the first cusp co-rulers, Moon is the sublord, and seventh cusp co-rulers, Saturn is the sub-sublord, and Moon is also the seventh cusp star lord. Now, when you have this kind of combinations, ascendant cusp has got two co-rulers, Saturn and Moon, and seventh cusp also has got the same two co-rulers, Moon and Saturn. And whenever this type of arrangement is there, then the marriage of such persons usually happens after 30 years of age, and sometimes the marriage of such person may happen close to 40 years of age. So anything in between 30 to 40 years can be the age of marriage. So one thing which is clear from this chart is that this native is not going to celebrate the marriage at a normal age or at an early date. It is going to be a case of late marriage, and the marriage of these natives is possible only after 30 years of age. Right? Okay. Now, this was the first point we have to focus. The second point that we need to check is that if I look into the dashas, Mercury dasha, when Mercury dasha was running, then the age of this native, 1994, and it is 2024, gives you an age of approximately 30 years. The question is whether the marriage will happen in the Mercury Dasha or it is going to be the next Dasha, which is the Ketu Dasha. Because Mercury Dasha, it it completes on 5th 10th of May 2024, and this person will be of 30 years age on 19/4/2024, and the Ketu Dasha will end in 2031. So out of these two planets, I am to check out that which Dasha is likely to be more favorable to give the event of marriage. Is it Mercury or is it Ketu? Now, another way to check it that which Dasha is more favorable or which is less favorable, if you look into the co-rulers of the sixth cusp, the sixth cusp co-rulers, they are Jupiter, Ketu, Mercury, and Rahu. And the 12th cusp co-rulers are Mercury, Rahu, Saturn, and Jupiter. Now, which are the common planets here? Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu. Here also you have Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu. Ketu is the star lord of the sixth cusp. Jupiter is the sub-lord of the 12th cusp. So three planets, they are strongly, you know, which are the co-rulers of the sixth and the 12th cusp. The three planets, they are, one is Jupiter, second is Mercury, and the third one is Rahu. So Jupiter, Mercury, and Rahu, which means that since Mercury with a PS is a co-ruler of the sixth cusp as well as the 12th cusp, thereby the probability of Mercury to be a Dasha Lord is less. So instead of Mercury, it can be Ketu, which can act as a Dasha Lord. Moreover, from 19/4/1994, from 19/4/2024 up to 10/5/2024, there is hardly a month, a difference of less than 1 month between these two figures, which means that probably Mercury is not likely or not going to be the Dasha Lord. Okay, anyhow, to finally confirm it, we will have to go to the significations of all the nine planets: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Now, if you just concentrate upon these planets, all the planets they have a positional status, right from Sun up to Ketu, all are having positional status. And if I look into the significations of these planets, then Sun is involving 11 and is committing by 5, 7, 9, no 6, no 12, and final confirmation level, you have 9 and 11 along with 6 and 12, which means that Sun is an average planet and its strength is just average, would mean is got a strength around 50-55%. Look at the next planet. And moreover, when you look at the positional status of Sun, then it is involving 3 and 9. It's a co-ruler of 3 and 9 along with 2 and 10. 2 is 8th to the 7th cusp. 10 is 4th to the 7th cusp. So, which means that the overall strength of the sun is not very good. I would rate it as an average planet with a strength of around 50 to 55%. Take the next planet, Moon, involving 5, 7, 11, and committing here with only 11, final confirmation through 11. And at the commitment level, 2, 6, 10, 2, 4, 6, 10, they are also present along with 11, which means even Moon is not going to be a very strong planet. Anyhow, when you look into the sub-sublord of this planet, which is Venus, then here it has got no negative house. 4 and 10 all alone doesn't mean anything. 4 without 6 has no meaning. 4 without 2, 6, 10, and 12 have no meaning at all. Thereby, it means that the strength of moon is better than what we have for the sun. Let us proceed to the next planet involving 5, 7, commitment by 11, and then again final confirmation by 3, 5, 7, and 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Almost all the houses, the positive houses, are involved. And then you have 4, 8, and 12. If you look 4, 8, and 12 with respect to the seventh house, they are neutral houses. Seventh is, eighth is second to the seventh house. 12th is 6 to the seventh house, and fourth is 10 to the seventh house. So 2, 6, and 10, they are neutral to the seventh house as per the cuspal interlink theory, which means that Mars has got a very good strength to give the event in spite of the fact that no 7 is involved, no 7 is present at the commitment level. Take the next one. So Mars, the strength of Mars is even greater than what is the strength of Moon. Take the case of Mercury. It is involving 6, commitment by 5 and 7, along with 9. Neither 6 nor 12 nor 2 are present over here. And final confirmation is again by the same planet. So Mercury is also a good planet. And when we look into the positional status of Mercury, that both 6 and 12 they are present here in the case of Mercury along with 12. So 6, 10, and 12, which would mean that the overall strength of Mercury is less. And the strength of Mercury is even equal to or lesser than that of Sun. Take the next planet, Jupiter. 5, 7, 11, 3, 9, and 11. And then finally it is 3, 9, 11, along with 2, 6, and 10. Along with 2, 6, and 10. So Jupiter is also going to have an average strength because Jupiter is also a planet that is a co-ruler of 6 and 12. Take the next planet, Venus, involving 11, commitment by 5, 7, 11, and final confirmation by 4, 6, and 12. 2, 6, 2, 4, 6, and 12. So again, it's not a strong planet. I would say it's an average planet. The strength of this planet is approximately close to the strength of Moon. They are almost of the same strength. Take the next planet, Saturn, involving 5, 7, 11, commitment by 3, 9, 11, no negative house, 2, 6, and 12 are present here. And then again, final confirmation is again through Venus, which is 3, 9, and 11. Saturn has got a good strength. It is stronger than all the planets we have discussed so far. Take the case of Rahu. Rahu is involving 5, 7, 11, commitment by 5, 7, 11, along with 2. So, involvement of 5, 7, 11 along with commitment of 5, 7, 11 makes it a strong planet. And at the final confirmation, you have got 11 along with 2, 6, and 10, which slightly decreases its strength, but it is giving a very strong promise for the event of marriage. And I would say that it is slightly less in strength as compared to Saturn. Or I can say that the strength of both the planets is approximately the same. In spite of the presence of 6 over here, along with 2, which would negate the seventh cusp, and since no 7 is present over here, that is why, there is a slight reduction in the strength of this planet. And when you look at the positional status, it is co-ruler of 11 along with 6 and 12, which has reduced its strength. Anyhow, because of involvement of 5, 7, 11 and commitment by 5, 7, 11, it is of good strength, but its strength is certainly less as compared to Saturn. Take the case of Ketu. Involvement of 11 along and then commitment by 5, 7, 11 with a number of negative houses. It is 2 is there, 6 is there, 10 is there, 12 is there. But at the final confirmation level, it has 6 and 12. So even Ketu is not of a very good strength. Now the question was that out of Mercury and out of Ketu, which is a stronger planet, than as per significations are concerned, Mercury appears to be a stronger planet as compared to Ketu. Yet, in spite of Mercury being the Dasha Lord, Ketu has become the Dasha Lord. The reason is that the time period which we have, up to which period Mercury will be the Dasha Lord, that is 10th of May 2024, which is approximately 30 years of age, 30 years and 1 month, right? And I've already pointed out in the beginning that the marriage has to be beyond 30 years, maybe around 30 years, maybe 34 years plus, or maybe anything in between 30 to 40 years. So instead of selecting Mercury as the Dasha Lord, we would preferably select Ketu as the Dasha Lord. Any question, please? Any
Uh,
question up to this point?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Why we
Indeed.
have considered that uh, moon is not good enough? Mars is better because
Okay.
moon has positional status, and there it indicates 5, 7, 11, all three of them.
See, look here. Moon has got 5, 7, 11 at the involvement level.
Yes, sir.
All planets having 5, 7, 11 at the involvement level are good planets to give the event. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
The presence of negative houses at this particular level indicates that there has to be a delay in the marriage or the marriage has to be a late marriage. Okay, nothing else. No other
Yeah.
inference we can draw from the star lord. So we can only tell that which planet is a good planet. Any planet involving 5, 7, 11, the three houses along with 139, right? So
Yes, sir.
it's a strong planet. If you look at all the planets, Moon is giving you involvement of 5, 7, 11. Jupiter is giving you involvement of 5, 7, 11. Saturn is giving you involvement of 5, 7, 11. And Rahu is also giving you involvement of 5, 7, and 11. So all these, they are good planets. Now, what will be the result of these planets would depend upon the sublord, that in which sub they are placed. Moon is placed in the sub of Ketu, right? And
Yes, sir.
Ketu represents Venus and Sun.
Hmm.
If you look at Ketu, it is 2, 6, and 10. And 2, 6, and 10 are all the houses which negates the seventh house. Second house to the seventh house is eighth house. Sixth house to the seventh house is the 12th house. And 10th house to the seventh house is fourth house.
Okay.
So the commitment is through 2, 6, and 10, which has, in spite of the fact that it is present in a sub-sub, which is Venus, which has no negative house. Yet the strength of moon is reduced because of the commitment through 2, 6, and 10, which are the planets which will negate the seventh house. Now, if seventh is negated by the commitment level and there is no seven appearing at the commitment level, then that planet becomes weak. Do you get this
Okay.
point?
Okay, even though it has positional status and there it is showing
Huh,
all
no, no,
5, 7,
no,
11.
no, no, it will not make. There are many planets which are having position status. Moon is one, Mars is the other one, which is
Moon,
having
Mars,
seven.
and Saturn, they all
Moon,
represent
Mars, and
7.
Saturn. They are
Yeah,
all strong.
yeah.
They are all strong. They are all strong because they are having positional status and they are the co-rulers of the seventh house. Right? They are all strong.
Mm-hmm.
What I said was that I am comparing the relative strength of all these planets. Now, if you look into all the planets are giving the significations of involving Sun involving 11, commitment by 5 7, final confirmation 11, Moon 5 7 11 11 and 11, Mars 5 7 11 5 and 7, then Mercury 11 involvement 5 7 and 5 7, and then Jupiter 5 7 11 11 and 11, Venus 11, commitment by 5 7, and then final confirmation by 9 along with 6. Okay. And then Saturn 5 7 11 11 and 11. Rahu 5 7 11 5 7 11. Very strong promise. Okay. And commitment through 11. K2 is 11 5 7 11 and then again 11. If you look here, all are significators of the marriage.
Yes, sir.
And at the same time, what you find is look at Sun involving 11, weak at the involvement level. Okay, but it is fulfilling the condition that one out of five or seven or 11 has to be there, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then confirmation is by 5 7, and
Yes.
final confirmation is not very strong. 11 along with 6 and 12, which
Okay,
makes it
so
very weak.
since 6 appears at commitment level, that's why we are not considering Moon as strong.
Yes, yes.
And
At
Mars, since
commitment level,
Mars doesn't have any 6, it is stronger than Moon.
it is stronger than.
Okay.
Exactly. Now, why
Okay.
did I say that Moon has become weak planet? Because at commitment level, it has 2 6 10, which negate the seventh house. Okay,
Yeah. I thought
when they
like
are
since it
when
is
no no
at
no no no
positional
no
status, it
no no
represents all three. So I
no,
thought
no,
it
that
should
is
be.
fine. That is fine. It has a good strength. It can be there in the dasha bhukti antra sukshma prana. It
Mm-hmm.
can be a planet which can be participating as a dasha, as a bhukti, as a antra. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
can be one of these. Even it can be sukshma and prana also. The
Okay.
point is that the strength of seventh is ultimately reduced because star proposes, sub disposes, and as per the rule of star proposes, sub disposes, the strength of seventh house, which is the primary house to give the marriage, is very, very weak. It has weakened in spite of being the co-ruler of the seventh house. The strength of the seventh house has appreciably decreased because of 2, 6, and 10 combination of 2, 4, 6, and 10. 4 is also there.
Okay.
Second house to the seventh house is eighth house, impediments, hurdles, problems. And second house is the house of family. Problem in marriage because of family. Fourth house is the 10th house to the seventh house, which means it is negative to the extent of 30%. 30%. And fourth house is the house of mother of the native. So some kind of interference by the mother of the native, delaying due to one reason or the other reason. What can be the reasons? The girl is not educated, the girl is unemployed. There can be a number of reasons for it. Okay? Sixth house to the seventh house is 12th house. Total negation. 10th house to the seventh house is 10th. The 10th house to the seventh house is fourth house, 70% negation. Fourth house negates by 30%, 10th house negates by 70%. 2 creates hurdle problems, delays, and 6 negates the seventh house. So the appearance of 2, 4, 6, and 10 delays the marriage, or delay तो already हो चुका है marriage का, and at the same time it will also reduce the strength of moon. It will also reduce the strength of moon. Is it clear?
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी.
Definitely, definitely. I pointed out right in the beginning that if moon is related to Saturn, because moon is in the star of Saturn, that will cause a delay in the marriage. And if there is a strong Punarpu Yoga, the marriage would be very late.
And can we say vice versa also? If Saturn is in moon star also, Punapdosha?
No, it will
Only,
delay, but not say by a longer period of time. It can delay 1 year, 2 years. This can be the delay.
no, can we define it as Punapdosha? I just asking.
Of
The-
course, but it's not a strong Punarfu dosas.
Okay, sir.
Moon present as a star of sun, moon present as a I'm sorry, moon present as a star of Saturn, or as a sub of Saturn, or as a sub of Saturn, will not affect it to a greater extent than when Saturn is present as a star sub or
Uh,
sub of.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Any more questions, please? G G
Punapdosha is only relating to moon and Saturn.
G
If that
G
is
G.
not there and still a person is not married even till the age of 40 and above,
हाँ
what
जी.
can we say without Punapdosha?
See, if there can be number of reasons for it. Now
Okay, sir.
look at the case of Salman Khan.
Okay.
Okay, marriage is promised in his chart, and yet he's not marrying. What is the reason? All the planets are in the sub of 6 and 12, 4, 6, 10, 12, 4, 6, 10, 12, 4, 6, 10, 12. If you cast the horoscope of Salman Khan, you will find that there is a promise of marriage, and yet he is unmarried till now. What is the reason? Because all the planets at the sub level, they are having 6, 12, 6, 12, 2, 6, 12, 2, 6, 10, 12, 6, 4, 10, and 12. So that is why he is not married till now. See,
Okay, sir.
appearance of 6 at the sub level negates the 7 which is in the involvement level, right? And if there is no 7 in the involvement level, and there is only 6 and no 7 in the sub level, then there is that particular planet is not a planet that would fructify the event of marriage. We have discussed 2 3 charts earlier also. Whenever you have 6 6 6 6 6 6 appearing at the sub level, or 6 6 6 6 6 6 and 6 12 at the sub level, then usually either the marriage is a it is a case of late marriage, or there is no marriage. There can be only two possibilities: either it is very late marriage, or there is no marriage.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay, sir.
Any more questions?
The seventh subsolar is Saturn.
G.
So so can we depict since seventh subsolar Saturn can we depict it is their late marriage also?
G. It is appearance of Saturn as the seventh sub-lord means it's a slow-moving planet. So we can say
Sir.
it's a case of delayed marriage. So delayed marriage can be any age after 27 years of age. It can be any time after 27 years of age. But late marriage is usually beyond 30 years of age. Anything in between 30 to 40 years of age. And beyond 40 years, there is hardly a person gets married. But there are cases when a person is married beyond the age of 40 years.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
so when